this used to be a spot for killing people.
Wow. How'd they kill him? Threw him off?
Shot in the face.
Damn.
The best of the cases.
Like right here?
All of these places was used before for killing people. But they decided to change it. Playgrounds.
Wow.
Now all the people come to here. Tourism is always stay in the bottom. No agency takes you to here. No tour guide takes you to here.
You hear that, guys?
Once,
If you want to come to the real guy, if you want to come to the real guy, come to my boy Brian. Hit me up in the DMs, let me know, and he'll book you a tour.
Hi guys, my name is Ryan. I'm a local tour guide of the Comuna 13. I'm from Medellín. This is La Comuna 13, the place that I grew up. And I invite you to come to here with me because I will gonna take you to the reality of the neighborhood. Not a lot of touristic area, not a lot of like art and culture, but I will gonna take you to the reality of the place so you can see also the other side of the reality, alright? But you will gonna understand why these places are transforming for the good, alright? So, catch up. I will gonna be waiting for you. You're gonna find there a lot of hip-hop culture, alright? Graffiters, murals, DJs, artists, breakdancers, rappers, you understand?
Oh yeah.
And of course, when you're in there, you will gonna feel like there's a lot of good vibes in here, you understand? But there is a reason why all of that is happening there, alright? But I will start from the beginning so you can have a good background about everything, alright? This is the part of the history. Between the 40s and the 50s, there was no houses in the mountains around Medellín. All of these places was totally empty. There was no houses in here in that times. This started changing between the 60s and the 70s. Many people from all Colombia start to come into Medellín and place their new houses in the mountains, as you are seeing right now, because of the violence. Violence. When we talk about the history of Colombia, 50% of the history is cartels and narcos, and the other 50% is guerrillas and paramilitaries. Conflict army between the left and the right side of the political ideologies. So in the case of the Comuna 13, if it was like a person living in a small town in the surroundings of the city, you get the chance to get visited by the guerrillas or the paramilitaries. Both of them, they will gonna come to your house and they will start to asking to you for supplies, food, water, whatever, and then they will leave.
What about if you say no?
You know.
Oh, they kill you?
Yeah, it was like that.
Damn.
In the next days, a group of them, I mean, if the guerrillas was into your house asking for supplies, the paramilitaries will go next, you understand? And if the paramilitaries come to your house, then the guerrillas come next, you understand?
Is it paramilitary like the gangs?
Paramilitaries with the right side of the political ideologies, and the guerrillas with the left, alright? So, both of them, they will gonna start to asking to you for supplies, and then they will leave. But if you was visited by the guerrillas, the paramilitaries will say that you was a guerrilla supporter, and they will ask your family to leave your own house, right? If you don't do that, the guerrillas or the paramilitaries will start to killing to each one of the people inside your house.
They just like
you understand?
Picking you guys off.
If you were supporting the left, you get killed. If you were supporting the right, you get killed. You understand?
Yeah.
There was no neutral point. So the people try to avoid the violence. They start to live in the small towns and start to finding for other places for living again. And they start to find in the way the mountains of the city. But because they was very poor at the beginning, they start to making their new houses with whatever it can be useful. Pieces of wood, pieces of plastic, and pieces of metal. If you take a really good look, you can still see that the houses are still made by metal in the roof. In the Comuna 13, in that specific area right there, behind these mountains, we have a road that connects Medellín with the ocean. You can go to the Pacific coast or to the Caribbean coast of the country. Urabá, Antioqueño, Chocó in the Pacific coast, Santa Marta, Cartagena, Valledupar, La Guajira in the Caribbean coast. And in that times, it was one of the only ways to reach Medellín. So people like my grandparents, they come from the Caribbean coast of the country, and they are one of the first people that came to this part of the mountains.
Damn.
My family is one of the first families that came to all this place.
Hell yeah, brother. You're a founder.
With the coming
Yeah.
of many poor people to the place, many bad people start to coming as well, and they start to making gangs inside this place. All the poorest neighborhoods in all Colombia was totally forgotten by the government because these places was not part of the urban area of the city. It was part of the countryside. These places was invasions. So the government of Medellín, in this case, start to say like, okay, we can make a new neighborhood in there, here,
Yeah.
but we need to put water, electricity, gas, streets.
Essentials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If nothing of this happens, we cannot send the cops to go to there because it's not part of the urban area of the city yet. That was
Understand.
always excuse. So, actually, there was no law, there was no justice in here. So the gangs members was doing whatever they want. They was asking for money to the poor people for the security because they was the security, and they was doing a lot of bad stuff. You can just imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
But this started changing as well between the 80s and the 90s. When the first guerrilla decides to come into the Comuna 13 and decide to take over all the Comuna 13 at the end. And they got for this 3 important reasons. But first, here in Colombia, we have 3 different groups of guerrillas. And you can think about the guerrillas as terrorists. They are an illegal military group working for the extreme left side of the politics. And they support their activities in Colombia doing bad stuff in the country.
Yeah.
Kidnapping people and asking for rewards, killing people as hitmans, and between the 80s and the 90s, they start to getting into the drug dealing as well. FARC-EP, FARC-EP, ALN, LN, M19, M19. 3 different groups, and names between them, but all of them working for the left.
Damn.
The FARC-EP was the first group of guerrilla that decided to place it here, and they got 3 reasons. The first one, there was no law, there was no justice in here. They can do whatever they want as well. The second, the guerrillas and the narcos in Colombia was actually enemies between the two. But in the south of the country, they was having a few business running. I mean, the Colombian Amazon jungle in the south of the country used to be the house of the biggest lab of cocaine and weed in Colombia.
Yeah.
The narcos was paying money to the guerrilla for the security of the lands because the owners was a guerrilla. But with the pass of the time, they start to get interested in the same business. So when they reach this place, they start to say like, okay, we can make a new neighborhood in there. Sorry. Actually, this place is really useful for us. You know, the guerrilla says, this is a really good place for us because we can bring our cocaine and more weed from the south of the country to Medellín, and from Medellín, using the road that connects Medellín with the ocean. And from the ocean, Mexico, United States, Europe, Asia.
Everywhere.
Yep. The other reason, by the shape of these mountains, this place looks like a favela in Brazil.
Barrios.
Yeah.
Barrios.
We have a lot of stairs and we have a lot of streets everywhere. You come by yourself to here and you can get lost in 1 second. This place is a maze. So the guerrillas also says, okay, we have also many places for hide. If the police comes, we can have always the advantage.
Did Pablo hide in one of these areas? No, he was in plain sight.
Yeah, no. The history of Pablo Escobar is different. The history of Pablo Escobar is in all the city, but the only exception is the Comuna 13. Because this place was being taken by guerrillas, and the guerrillas and the narco was enemies between them. So when the guerrillas take this place, they never came to here.
I see.
The only thing that we can say about Pablo Escobar is that when he was like in his peak, like recruiting people from the poorest neighborhood, maybe people from here, they start to working for him. Poor people from here. Because back in the 80s and in the 90s, it was more easy to have a gun and a motorcycle and kill some police officer in the street and get paid for that than actually working.
Less cameras.
Yep. So yeah. But it's the only thing that we can say, alright? After the FARC-EP placing here, they start to winning like the heart of the people that was already living here.
Yeah.
What they start to do? They start to do social cleanings inside this neighborhood. I mean, they start to pick it up the robbers, they start to pick it up the drug addicts, and they start to pick it up the gangs members that was asking for money to the poor people.
Cleaning up the streets.
Yep. And they start to say to them, we are now controlling this area. If you keep doing this bad stuff, we will kill you. And this was the only warning. There was no second chance. In the second chance, they pick up the person and they kill it. Places like this one, and if you see a random basketball court in any place around here,
Like this one?
that place used to be one of the places for the guerrillas do all the executions. All right?
They used to execute people right there.
Yeah. This place at the beginning was not like this, like playgrounds. This used to be like a flat places of dirt. But most of these places surrounds all the area and is visible for the community that is right here. So anything that happens in here, it will catch the attention of the people, and that was actually the idea. All right? Any basketball court in the bottom that is like in the center of everything used to be a place for executions. All right? Because it was only visible for the rest of the people in the surroundings.
And that's
all right?
the point, to be.
And that's the point.
To make a point. To make a point.
That's the point. Yeah.
So
that was the
crazy.
idea. After the FARC keep placing here, another group decides to come in, getting attracted by the same reason. The road that connects Medellín with the ocean. The ALN start to coming as well, and after they come in,
What's the name of the road?
you say what?
What's the name of the road?
There is a main road that is just behind this mountain. All right, it is with a number. I just forget right now what was
Yeah.
the name of the main road, but it's just right here behind this mountain.
I see.
Yeah, and if you take the road, you can choose between go to the Pacific coast or to the Caribbean coast. Yeah, so you can actually choose. If you take a boat, you can choose if you want to go to Japan. You understand?
What?
Or if you want to go to North America.
Yeah, that's,
Yes.
wow. Yeah.
All right. After the ALN came to here, right, as well, we already have like two different groups in here. And when they come to here, the Comuna 13 start to be split into invisible frontiers, all right? So, for example, this line right here, for example, is like an invisible frontier. So the people doesn't know that this was an invisible line. Only the guerrillas. And if you was like a normal person passing through the lines, you get shot.
Just by
Alright.
going in that territory.
Yeah. They was like really taking care of the neighborhood, and they was not trusting in anybody. Yeah. They wanted to take the control of everything. And the two kind of guerrillas was making crossfire between them all the days and all the nights with no stop for the control of the Comuna 13, leaving the innocent people in the middle of the crossfire. Remember that the houses at the beginning was from wood and from plastic. So many innocent people start to die randomly day by day because of the crossfire. People like my grandparents, they told me that it is a miracle that they are still alive. When each one of these battles start, they was using the couch and the bed inside the house for trying to make some protection to them. And it was no safety at all because the roof used to be plastic.
Well, they have automatic weapons?
You say what?
They're using automatic weapons?
They was using already automatic weapons, yes. Between the 80s and the 90s, the Comuna 13 in Medellín was already considered the most dangerous community in all this country.
Latin America, I heard. In all Latin America.
Maybe Latin America.
Yeah, that's what I heard online. I'd say Community 13 was the dangerous in all of Latin America. It's crazy.
The police, the ambulance of the hospitals, and even the taxis, they never
It was
came
because
to
there
here.
was Pablo, and then there was the other three. There was everybody. It was just total
This place was forgotten by everything.
crazy.
All right. At the beginnings of the 2000s, many things started to happen in Colombia and in this community. One of the things is that a few paramilitaries, a group of paramilitaries, decides to infiltrate inside the guerrillas for start providing with information to the government about the commanders of the guerrillas, the main houses of support, and the main houses of weapons.
They started snitching.
Yeah.
Ah,
But who are the paramilitaries?
Yeah.
The paramilitaries are like a private service under the influence of the government, working
Sí.
for the right side of the political ideologies. But at the very beginning, the paramilitaries was only farmers that started to get moved from their houses forcibly by the guerrillas and retired militaries. And the main objective of them was to fighting back the guerrillas. Because the guerrillas in that time, there was no, like, I mean, the military force of the country, but they needed like more. In a sense, the paramilitaries started to fighting back then. And with the passage of the time, politics from Colombia, important people like wealthy people from the country, and even some cartels from Colombia start to giving money to them so they can keep doing their activities. So at the end, they start working for all of these people and for the government as well.
Wow.
The fact in here is that back in the 2000s, the Comuna 13 used to have 3 different groups. The FARC-EP, the ALN fighting between them, and the paramilitaries infiltrating. Can you imagine that?
Crazy.
It was really difficult to
war
know
zone.
which one guerrilla, which one was paramilitary, who was gang. You understand?
Did they have
It was a
different
mess.
colors they wore to know?
The paramilitaries was infiltrating, so they can be from the ALN or from the FARC-EP, and the FARC-EP and the ALN, they was being different between them, of course, but they was looking almost the same. You understand? It was really difficult to know. Yes.
Crazy stuff going on in the video. Kids chasing dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Got the fun stuff you guys used to do as kids?
Yeah.
Chase dogs around and stuff?
Chasing dogs and making like toys with the mud of the deer, you know?
Yep. Same as Zubair. Zubair, I have a picture of Zubair playing with mud in Pakistan. Sand, actually.
We used to be like that. Yeah, actually we are not so different from. I mean, I'm not so different from Zubair.
Yeah.
Because he got like more or less the same childhood.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Really poor, really poor situation. Yes. But we was happy.
I wish he was here right now.
Yeah, we was happy.
Definitely.
Yeah. At least these kids, because they are poor, they don't have like internet or phones still, so it's actually good.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Let me tell you something. Something really sad was happening in here in that time, in the 2000s. And for you to understand better, let's gonna make a quick example. So now let's suppose that you're from here. It doesn't matter from which part of the place. And you will go to the store because you want to buy something. In the way, in the walking, a few paramilitaries will catch you because they want to investigate you.
Yeah.
They don't know if you're a guerrilla or a narco or something like that. With that same excuse, they kidnap you, kill you, dress your body as a guerrilla, and at the end of the day, they presented your body to the government as a guerrilla calm down.
Shout out my boy Brian for this video. I can't thank you enough, Brian. If you're ever in Colombia and you want a great tour guide, go to my boy Brian. I'm gonna tag him in these videos on YouTube. I'm gonna tag him on the videos on Instagram, and I can't say enough. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for everything you did for me. Thank you for showing me the craziness you grew up in and how beautiful and what it's transformed in today. Brian is one of the most humble individuals I've ever met. He grew up in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in all of Latin America. Well, not anymore, but it used to be. So the fact that he's out here representing his community, showing love to people like me is just beautiful. So again, I couldn't do this video without you, Brian. Thank you. And Dom Travels Goes Global. Make sure to subscribe, like, and just comment. Get this algorithm going crazy. I want these videos at 1,000 views or more each. Come on, we're slacking, people, yo. Come on, subscribe and let's get this thing going. Dom Travels is going global. This year we're going to Pakistan, and we're not gonna stop from there. For Pakistan, we're gonna go back to Thailand for Songkran Festival, and we're going global. We're not stopping. This is just the beginning. So, thank you, Brian. Shout out Colombia. We out.